Let's see this one. Applications of completing the square. You can see from here, right? So one thing to note is you got H and X, right? So that means you kind of can do a quick sketch like that. So from this negative, you can see is a set face. So you got your set face over here. One thing you can very, very quickly do for yourself is you help me to let x equals to 0. Okay, when you let x equals to 0, you realize that, oh, the H is actually 1.5 here. So when you do your H here, and then, oh, this is not t, it's x here. So you started throwing from the top. Okay, how do we complete the square? I will always make sure my, oops, I will always make sure my, press wrong. Okay. I will always make sure I'll take out the coefficient, which is negative coefficient of x squared. All right, so this is what I will do. X squared minus 3 over 2x. Then here is minus, what's 1.5 divided by 2? You can press your calculator. It's actually 3 quarter. This is how I will do my completing. There's many ways to do it. All right, but I realized that doing it this way, right, allows me to not make so many careless calculations lah. So what happens here is that this is my b, right? Negative 3 over 2. So if it's b over 2, that's negative 3 over 4. So I'll have this thing over here as well. Okay, so now I can continue here. Negative 2. I will be able to combine these three together, which gives me x minus 3 over 4 whole thing square. So this thing over here, you're going to press calculator. Negative 3 over 4 minus negative 3 over 4 whole thing square. Then you times negative 2. So that will give me plus 21 over 8. All right, so everything is fraction is done. So I always recommend students, right, when you're doing this, right, from here, right, you straight away, before you continue, okay, you go and let x equals to like maybe 2. Then you let x equals to 2 here. Make sure they are the same thing. Because if they are the same, then you know you're completing a square is correct. Because if you're wrong, the whole question wrong already. Leh. Okay, so anyway, from here, you can actually tell this particular coordinate. So this particular coordinate can see from here and here. So this is 3 quarter as well as 21 over 8. So how do you explain this question here? This is my maximum point, right? So you will put down for me, right? This is your coordinates of your maximum point. So your maximum height, right, is that 21 over 8, which is 2.625 meters, which is less than 3 meters. So therefore, it cannot reach. Okay, it cannot reach the height of that. Not too scary, right? Okay. Then after that, from here, given that the defense structure, wow, what is this, huh? Defense structure is 1.4 meter horizontal. That means this is x equals to 1.4. Then this is h equals to 0.8. So whether we'll hit the structure or not. So what we will do, right, is that we're going to sub in lah. Okay, so what will I try to sub in? I think I sub in x is easier than subbing in h leh. Because h then I must go and solve. But if I sub in x, which is just like that, right? I can just sub in nicely. And then my calculator, oops, oh my eraser so big. Like that. Then I can sub in this one. So this one x is what? So x is 1.4. Okay, so I'll press calculator, 1.4 minus 3 quarter, then square plus 21 over 8. So this one here gives me like what though? This one here gives me 1.78 meters. So you see what's the understanding from here? 1.4 will be somewhere where? So you use your graph to understand. 1.4 will be somewhere here. So when 1.4, right, then we will realize that, oh, this value is 1.78, correct? Which is this part here, right? So they're asking you, know, there's something, right, that is 0.8 meters. 0.8 means so short. It won't hit this thing, ma. Can you see? It won't hit at all. So then all you can understand from here is that just put down for me, this is not equals to 0.8 meters. So since it's not equal, right, you can understand that this coordinate here, x is 1.4, then h is 0.8. It does not lie on the curve. So therefore, it will not hit. Easy? Okay, so just like that. So this is what we have typically lah. So the last part, part 3, right? They just want us to sketch. So if they want us to sketch, right, it's just this whole thing. Oh. All right, so this whole thing, they need me to sketch properly, huh? So I make sure I can see from here. This is my 1.5. So you go up and then come down. All right, go up and then come down. Yeah, why so troublesome? Okay, and then I know this part is the highest. This part here I know is 1.5. Then this point over here must label. They never say anything about labeling all the axes or whatever, right? So just make sure you got your maximum and your starting point can already. 0.75 and 2.625. Fraction also can. So this is just a sketch. Alright? So always sketch it out because if you sketch it out, you can see a lot better also. Then you will know how to answer the application from here. Alright?